In today's video, I want to tell you guys about a bunch of new Blender add-ons that came out in the last few days. Add-ons for vegetation, interior design, environment building, and so on, including 2 free add-ons with a lot of value, so let's dive right in. I'm gonna start with lazy interiors. The core purpose with this one is rapid interior scene building through a clear browser workflow where you can add assets by category, which is gonna help you a lot. So you just import ready-made scene chunks by category and use built-in quick snap tools so placement stays tidy. In addition, you have a materials library for fast look development. And the real value is how much content it actually included. Basically, you have 380 assets, 34 scenes, and 60 plus materials, so it is immediately useful for ArchViz blocking, product shot rooms, and quick animation sets. And in the files, you will get the add-on in addition to an external library at about 43 GB, so you have to keep that in mind. The next add-on is called Select Pro, which is very interesting too. Its purpose is to unify selection methods into an all-in-one menu, which is context-aware. So it looks at your mode or topology and surfaces the selection tools that you are most likely needing right now. And I believe the standout feature is the new selection operators, layered on top of Blender's built-ins, like the contiguous edge path, face surface selections, similar islands, similar edges by marks, like seams, sharp, bevel weight, and so on, in addition to boundary edge selection and object hierarchy selection in object mode. Generally speaking, you can use this for cat cleanups, hard surface selection chores, or retopology preparation, or honestly any workflow where you're constantly switching between edges, islands, loops, boundary selection patterns, and so on. The next add-on I want to talk about is called Particles add-on, and its purpose is to simplify building particle style scenes, especially nature stuff. I mean things like butterflies, birds, flies, dust, spark, and so on, or those kind of ambient motion layers without you manually doing everything from scratch, I mean each time. And you will get 4 simulation types and 11 pre-made optimized setups, including dust, ambers, fly, fireflies, confetti, sparks, butterfly, dragonfly, pigeon, crow, fish, and others, which are coming hopefully in the future. Also, you have 4 simulation types, which include, first of all, empty simulation, where objects can either follow behind the empty or when using a negative value. Next, you have curve simulation, which, as you can tell, allows particles to follow curves, with settings that you can change. You also have wind simulation to affect how particles are spread or affected. Lastly, there is simple simulation for simple and quick setups. Another free add-on in today's video is Scatter by Kiri engine. As you know, Kiri engine is about 3D scanning and photogrammetry, but this tool is simply here to assist you with environment creation and scattering stuff with 3 modes that can match how you actually work. You have manual hero placement when composition matters, procedural coverage when scale matters, and physics files when believability matters. You can use the add-on in 3 different ways. Click is a point and shoot placement made for hero assets, which is kinda straightforward, and Simple Scatter applies a non-destructive geometry nodes modifier to a mesh or a curve for fast and editable coverage like grass, debris, path dressing, etc. And the Physics Scatter uses rigid body physics, so objects drop and settle naturally, with interactive controls during playback like wind, vortex, gravity, and so on, which helps you with art direction. Pistonpusher is a niche but a really interesting add-on, which is useful for reducing the overhead of building pistons or actuators from mesh to rig, especially for hard surface and mechanical work. The main features are straightforward. You have a quick rig system with pistons, cables, hoses, joints, springs, in addition to armature editing, a stamp point system for alignment, and hose attachment points via geometry nodes for quick cylindrical extrusions on curved surfaces, in addition to general snap and align piston utilities, and helper tools like set bone as parent and set child off. And honestly, you can use this in different ways. For example, when modeling robots, mechs, vehicle suspension hydraulics, sci-fi doors, or other prop where you would otherwise be manually constrained wrangling pistons for the 100th time. Another interesting add-on called PF2B, or Plantfactory to Blender, is one of the most underrated Blender add-ons. If anything, it gives you access to a free library of Plantfactory, which went open source a couple of years ago, which in turn gives you access to thousands of vegetation assets. This add-on in its second version introduced biomes and collections, in addition to a new snow system, wind import, and a major overhaul of the import overrides for more granular control. In practice, biomes and collections split workflows into two scene builder modes, so biomes are structured, ready-made ecosystems intended for scattering in the add-on, and they are designed to work with scattering tools like Geoscatter or the Free Biome Reader, while collections are curated plant bundles meant for bulk importing into your asset library without needing extra scattering add-ons. And the snow feature is genuinely layerable, and you can use them with multiple approaches. Geometry node snow for hero assets, shader-based snow for efficiency, in addition to a frost module, and then you can go deep into settings like snow buildup with configurable buildup layers, in addition to height, erosion, and so on. And this is exactly the kind of system you want to use for winter biomes, whether it be close-up hero tree shots or seasonal variants on the same environment. Also now Wind supports importing Plantfactory wind by generating an armature rig with baked motion, and the import overrides overhaul adds controls like mesh resolution for hero plants and plant-specific overrides that can map to nodes in the original Plantfactory graph. When it comes to dealing with text, there is a new add-on called Textpro, which is a typography-focused add-on to make text creation feel like motion graphics. I mean inside Blender. The main takeaway is that the native RTL engine saw problematic languages inside Blender like Arabic, Persian, Urdu, and so on behave correctly without external workarounds. And the add-on also includes preset-driven styling, so you can write unformed controls for extrusion or volume. And you have a logo mode that imports SVG and vector art and lets you separate and stylize logo parts via a layer system, in addition to smart materials intended to reduce shader editor time. This, in addition to procedural animation system, which you can use for characters, words, and line-oriented motion with sliders, which is great compared to manual keyframe paint. And honestly, you can use this in different places, like when you are creating title sequences, stylized UI text, or any workflow when you iterate on typography a lot. And as a bonus, it is explicitly made for export-friendly geometry, in case you want to use it in a game engine or maybe for 3D printing. The next add-on is called Word Conceptor, which is a big procedural sky plus atmosphere plus clouds. And from what I can see, it can be used for architectural, outdoors, or even space renders, with the core purpose of generating light in an atmosphere, and you can do that really effortlessly through presets and procedural controls rather than building worlds or shaders yourself, which honestly takes a lot of time. And to be frank, it is kind of a waste of time to do it by hand, especially when you know we have great add-ons like this. The good thing is that with this add-on, you have atmospheric and lighting presets, including 8 sky configurations, global illumination controls, sky glow for night renders, solar eclipses, a volumetric fog system with thickness control, in addition to a stormy sky toggle, environment backgrounds, and an advanced cloud system with 6 cloud types and dynamic formations, in addition to moons and planets for space shots. The next add-on called Pico Node is a workflow add-on, but what does that mean? It can make node-heavy projects less chaotic by letting you view, organize, and edit node parameters directly from the sidebar and even from the 3D viewport. This, as you can imagine, reduces the constant hunt through node trees and context switching that kills momentum. But how does it do that? First of all, it has node collections, which organizes node-like objects and keeps compositor, geometry, and shader nodes visible and manageable. It also has a material variant branching system, where you can create unique variants, tweak deep node group parameters safely, and then merge changes back, or promote them to a new material, basically non-destructive look development, which you can do with guardrails. Another add-on is called Easy Camera Matcher, which can be really useful, because it helps you match a Blender camera to a photo or even a footage fast. You just load an image or a video, draw perspective lines, set point origin and scale, and it solves camera positioning, rotation, focal length, and so on, so your 3D can actually match the real plate. One of the refreshing features is the real-time camera, which updates as you draw and do scene reconstruction via projecting the image onto the geometry. You also have less distortion removal for a cleaner match. This add-on also positions itself as a camera match front-end for later object tracking. The typical use cases are simple, like adding CG props for photos, rebuilding simple building geometry, or setting up shots where the match move need to be correct before you track objects. On a side note, it is important to note that any camera matcher depends on readable perspective cues, like clear vanishing lines and corrected distortion actually matter, so keep that in mind. Last but not least, we have horizontal tabs, which is a UI productivity add-on, like some of the ones we have seen before. It basically replaces the endless end panel scrolling by mirroring sidebar panels into the header as horizontal tabs, letting you build custom editor headers, the ones that feel native and keep the tools where you would naturally find them. Also, you got features like presets, which are tabs collections tied to the editor types. Also, you've got dynamic tab items like panels, operators, labels, separators, and so on. This in addition to custom UI stripes via split areas, with per item naming, with tweaks and so on, and shortcut keys for attaching new docs, and all of this, as you can imagine, makes this add-on really suited for add-on heavy production workspace. So guys, if you are interested in these add-ons, you will find all the necessary links in the description. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel to receive more videos like this. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.